A funeral indeed.
Lots of gift giving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, very sweet choices of gifts, Tira.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I put you all on the spot.
On such short notice.
You really put us on the spot.
I really said come up with a heartfelt and deeply thought gift, and you all delivered.
You have 5 seconds to think about it. Even though you've had this idea for weeks. But, yeah, no, you're right. We did pull it. We did manage. Let's see. So, we went to the funeral. Everyone saw... Well, let me see. The first bit was most of the party meeting back up to talk about what the trio went up to, going back to the misgivings.
Mm-hmm.
And what they found. So they told Shay about it, because Sola has been very busy.
Understandably so.
Yep. Once that information is shared, it's just working on stuff, funeral arrangements being made, everyone working together for a bunch of shit. And then it's funeral time, heartfelt gifts, heartfelt service following Shaylin. Some people see some stuffs. Shay sees a stranger she's never seen before and avoids them at all costs. She is on CC duty, and no one can take that away from her. Unfortunately, Mesmine saw some spooky shit. Sola had a pretty cool conversation with Distortion, and Sabil went to go and investigate with Mesmine about what spooky shit was, because it was like a shadow that was close to the walls and kept going to the coffin, but it kept dissipating when it got too close to it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's about the size of it, I think.
Yeah, and Augie skipped the funeral.
Augie skipped the funeral.
Yeah.
She went to head to Magnamar.
Yeah, she went to Magnamar.
Funeral is
Skipped
really
is such
harsh.
a loaded word. Like, would she have even been invited? Like,
Yes.
Yes.
by the family?
Sola is the one
Sola.
planning shit.
Okay, well,
I'm back.
welcome back.
Just in time. Let me finish
You
up this
can't
last
avoid
spoonful.
civic responsibility, Augie, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
What even is a civic duty?
Good question.
Well,
I want her to ask
Now-
that in front of Shay.
Oh my god.
Shay would lose her
Break.
shit.
Yeah, her brain would break.
Making notes as we speak?
All right. So as we rejoin the party, everyone is attending Ismark's funeral, and the proceedings are still ongoing. We return to Mesmine and Sabil, who are investigating some strangeness at the back of the cathedral. Mesmine has spotted some sort of shadowy figure that, as mentioned previous, keeps moving around and doesn't seem to stay in place. It's a silhouette, a humanoid silhouette, that seems to peel itself off the wall and try to approach the coffin in which Ismark's remains are located. But every time it gets within about 2, maybe 3 feet, it dissipates. She's seen this happen 3 or 4 times now. Sabil, when you approach Mesmine, could you describe for us what your vibe is?
Concern. In an anxious sort of way, not in a, oh, I'm worried about that, but in a, oh no, I'm worried about that kind of way. It's kind of, the best way I can describe this is she's kind of like, kind of seems like a mouse a little bit. That's anxiously trying to get through the area, worried that some cat's gonna jump out, kind of thing. So definitely anxious vibe.
And how are you observing this shadow that you see?
Well, she was trying to track it first and like see where it starts, and like a common place on where it ends, or where it starts, I mean. And she kind of, I don't know, like, she can't touch it, and she has to kind of guess where it's at, so her movements are probably a little bit sporadic. But I mean, just looking for it, literally, with her eyes.
Do you remove your goggles to do so?
No.
I believe she said last time that Mez actually didn't have her goggles.
Ah.
No. What? No. Oh, wait. Shit, you're right.
It would be impolite to wear goggles to a funeral, is it?
It's like wearing sunglasses indoors. You look like an asshole.
So wait a second. Quick question.
Okay.
Is the funeral the same day that we all met up after the misgivings?
No.
No, about a week has passed.
Okay, so legitimately, would it be considered rude?
Ask Sola that.
Sola, would it be considered rude?
How nice
Or
are
would
the
it make
goggles?
people anxious? Okay. Then how about this? She has her hair done in a way that covers her face more. Like, she took extra time to do a kind of an updo kind of thing, so it more nicely covers half her face. Like, her hair's in a bun with the bangs going like that sideways kind of thing.
That sounds pretty respectable to me. Sola, is that going to pass muster with the family?
Yes.
Alright. So, Sabil, as you approach Mesmine, could you make me a perception check?
Let me get the curse dice. Oh boy, we're off to a good start. That is a 15.
A 15. Alright. So, with the 15, as you approach, Mesmine's eyes are really stuck to the wall. Mez, you can spot that the origin point seems to be, as far as you can tell, this little alcove toward the back of the church where the priests and where the people who work there might make a hidden entrance without disturbing anything. It seems to phase through the wall there. You're not entirely sure of its method of entry, but that's the direction you're getting. Sabil, as you approach, though, and you see Mesmine studying this very intently, you can see a faint glow to the rune that's on her face. It glows a very faint green.
Just checking, should we start there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mez, you ain't slept a wink, huh?
I imagine Mez's like Sabiel's coming from the side, so like slightly behind, slightly to the side, so it kind of spooks her a bit. So slight jump in Mez's as she hears Sabiel. Yeah. Uh, what? What's up?
You know, sometimes when I forget to sleep for a bit, I find myself jumping at shadows, keep seeing things that ain't there. That ever happened to you?
She looks at Sabille, glances at the shadow. Yeah, maybe you're right. She kind of rubs her eyes a bit, glances again. Or there could actually be a shadow, maybe.
Was that a GM question?
No, that was a Mez, like, maybe there is actually one there? Maybe I'm not crazy? It's like a, are you seeing this too, kind of thing.
Is Sabille seeing this?
Sabille does, in fact, see a strange shadow.
Yeah, if you see it, then I see it. What do you reckon it is?
I have a few guesses.
Are the good guesses?
Not ones I like.
Well, you got me to back you up. What you think?
I think would really appreciate the backup. I really don't want this day to be ruined.
Looks like we're on shadow duty then.
Mez smiles, feeling much more confident and reassured with Sabille there. Which I don't think is like the first time this has happened. She's always seen Sabille as sort of an older sister type figure. Mez will turn more confidently towards the shadow. Try and, I guess, touch it.
All right. Are you trying to do this covertly?
From the rest of the party, yeah, except for some, like, from the rest of the goings on. Like, she'll lean against the wall, I guess, and like put her hand to the side. Maybe that's a word. Nonchalant, natural.
As you do that, could you roll me a will save?
I don't know.
So, Mez, you lean against this wall, trying to conceal what it is you're doing, and your hand brushes across this shadow. What you expect to feel is stone. Smooth stone, polished here, brought to Sandpoint at great expense from some of the quarries all throughout Varesia. You would even expect a bit of a coolness to the surface, being as the shadow brings with it a little bit of cold. All of that would be normal to you. But instead, what happens when your hand brushes the surface of this shadow is it feels as if you're skimming the surface of a lake. The shadow is not insubstantial. There's something to it. And as you trail your fingertips across it, they sink in. There isn't any resistance, there isn't any give. You simply feel yourself plunging a bit further in to this darkness, this absolute cold that envelops your hand. Mesmine, you're used to the fires of the forge. You're used to reaching in and grabbing things with your bare hands and arguing with Doss after the fact, but this is the opposite of that sensation. You're struck with the thought that if you were to keep reaching in, your whole hand would be submerged in this cold, dark. And as you do this, you hear a voice in your head. Mesmine, I'm going to find it, whether you like it or not. So how about we play along, huh?
Mesmine stiffens and closes her eyes and summons her courage to the best of her ability. And she'll, not speaking super loudly, because I assume it's another thing of people can hear her.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll speak more low and mumble. And just like, this is not time or the place for interrupting here. Get out.
You're being a very brave Mesmine. Only an intimidation check.
That is really good for a -1.
15 is higher than I thought you would get, I'm not going to lie to you.
Same.
Mesmine, you speak to this shadow, and for a second there, the nothingness around your hand changes, it shifts. Rather than cool water, it starts to freeze all at once, as if a container of water at the freezing point had just been struck. You can feel that ice prickling against your skin. You will take 2 points of damage from this.
Okay.
But
Yes.
your DR will stop that if you. It's DR2 bludgeoning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you take 2 damage, but your skin is tough.
Still very cold. Painfully cold.
It's still very cold, and even though it's not quite enough to fully prick through your extremely tough skin, you know for a fact that this would have hurt somebody who didn't have your particular advantages there. And in the back of your head, you hear that same voice again. That's what you think. I'll see you again, Mesmine. With that, the shadow dissipates again, and your hand is left against the now quickly warming up surface of the polished marble at the back of the church.
Big sigh of relief. She looks to Sabine, smiles, a little uncertain, but definitely a good smile. And she says, I think he left.
Oh, you dealt with that right quick.
Maybe, but I'm worried there might be some repercussions.
Yeah. So there's bad news, but I don't know if you want to go into it here.
What do you mean?
On your face, it was glowing green.
What? Hand to eye.
It doesn't feel any different.
It's more of she's concerned someone else saw, and she's like glancing around, trying to cover her face more. Did anyone else see?
I don't think so. Nobody was looking directly at you. You recognize that thing?
Small nod to the head. It kind of helped out with that closet, I believe it was. The one the one who she kind of uses one of her fingers to circle around her branded eye. He helped us and gave us some bullets, but I don't think he's any good, and I'm pretty sure everyone else thinks so too.
It sounds like you really stepped in it. Anything I can do for you?
I don't know. Maybe he threatened the town last time I spoke with him. He wanted. She glances around, gets closer to Sibyl in a like come here whisper kind of thing. He wanted to eat Mark's heart. He said it was some sort of seed or something.
He's asking a big price for a set of bullets, ain't he?
She nods. Would it be okay, DM, if I roll a deception check for that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just know that it's going to be opposed by Sabine Sense Motive, and Wisdom is a monk's core stat.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine.
Go for it.
Can Augustiana help?
Augustiana's not here!
Her spirit is.
No, that's too much of a stretch. I have to say no sometimes.
Okay.
Aki didn't want to come to the funeral. She can't play games at the funeral. No.
I don't know why this was all times, but I rolled a 20. That's 35.
Yeah, that's you. Not only do you understand the lie that Mez has told you is a lie, you understand something deep about Mesmine in this moment. Iris, what does Sabine glean from you on a 20? Sabine glean
Hmm. She gleans that obviously there was way more to it than that, than some bullets. And it would have to be something big for Mez to even consider this. Because Sabine essentially, I wouldn't say she raised the Sandys, but she has been a part of their life for a long time. Particularly Mesmines, too. They've read books and studied together, and, Sabine was kind of the babysitter. So, you notice Mesmine glance at her fingertips, and they're rubbing together slightly. Something she has a bit of a habit of doing, a little bit. When thinking particular train of thought. But she's not looking. She also can't look Sabine in the eye when she says that. She's kind of looking over her shoulder before that glance.
Esmeen, you know you can come to me when you're in trouble, right?
I'm not in trouble.
That was a lie.
It's a lie. Mesmine doesn't think she's in trouble. She's got it under control, right?
Clearly.
Clearly.
You don't look like somebody who's not in trouble. Might be my bad eyes.
Well, I don't know what I can do. He's taken an interest in me, and what am I supposed to do? She kind of glances around because she feels she feels a lot of emotions rising up, and you said that nearby is like a little hidey hole, like a back entrance, correct?
Yeah.
Pull. Mez will grab Sabile's wrist and pull her to the back way, so they're not around people.
You can certainly do that. You can pull Sabine into this alcove in the back that smells very strongly of incense. Shadress would hate it here.
What kind of incense?
Frankincense.
Mm.
Frankincense what?
Frankincense that this is a good time to continue the scene.
Understood. um Yeah, she'll pull her to the back. It's like, I don't get why he's taking the interest in me, and I don't know how to get him to go away. If I keep telling him no, he could just. He said Sandpoint is important. And I don't want our home to come to ruin.
Do you know what he is?
I don't know. Shay might have a better idea of that. Some sort of demon, I'm assuming. The closet was looking for him when I first met him. Then he had us deal with the closet a little bit ago. So I'm guessing they weren't on good terms.
Well, that could get into a whole bunch of politics with Wrath and with Lamash too. Don't suppose he ever told you why?
Why? What?
Why the closet?
Not exactly. I mean, he said we all need to get stronger. I just assumed it was something with that.
Don't you worry, we can get this settled. Might not be now, but you can't get away from us forever.
Are you sure we can deal with him if he comes back?
Maybe not right now. Didn't really get a good look at the fellow. But yeah. Nothing in this world can't be wrestled down and had some good sense knocked into it.
Meds kind of smiles at that. I suppose you're right. Whenever I see him, he looks like a kid. If there's some paper, she'll do a little sketch, if that's okay.
Yeah, you can find some parchment with, notes about the funeral on the front. If you flip it to the back and don't mind drawing on that, you can draw on it. Do you mind drawing on it?
No, she's not going to do that.
Sabine has her journal.
There you go.
Cool. Do a little sketchy sketch. You recognize him?
You have not seen this little floppy boy in your life, Sabine.
Little shit like that, I'd recognize him. If I'd seen him, nah, I ain't seen anyone like that.
She shrugs. I was hoping it was worth a shot.
Yeah, sorry. But, he was a shadow this time.
And then the last time. And the time before that.
Well, it's a start. I reckon our first course of action is to figure out what he is.
Sorry, you said we need to figure out what he is.
Yeah.
Okay. That might be the best way to start, I guess.
Who else knows about this?
Shay, Sola. Well, kinda, Sola.
He, cotton on to what he asked for.
Yeah. He wasn't too happy about it.
I can hardly blame her. You gonna be safe if, he doesn't get his way?
Shrug. Timid shrug.
I was worried about that.
I've told him no twice, and he seems convinced that he can get it himself if he needs to. He was just giving me the upper, and then she kind of cuts herself off of it. He just wanted me to do it for some reason.
Well, couldn't have been a good one. Think you can, I don't know, convince him to take something else?
I could try, but like I said, he said that seed was powerful or something.
Yeah, I saw the body. Something very ain't right there.
Mm. He also said there might be others after.
So we're still holding on to it?
I don't know. I didn't bother to. I didn't think it was right for me to ask.
You made the right choice.
Little bit
As
of a
the-
nota.
as the two of you are talking, a small, sheepish-looking elf emerges from the alcove in which you are situated, carrying a tray full of art supplies, and damn near bumps into Sabine in their haste. And they pause and they look at the two of you. Excuse me, can I help you guys?
Sorry, we were just trying to find a quieter place.
Mm.
A little less crowded.
The elf looks at the two of you. Oh, you must be, friends of, well, I'm sorry for your loss. Could I ask you to keep this space clear, though? The people are using a lot of the supplies, and we need to replenish them.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, we were just finishing up. Why don't we clear the way for these boys' mess?
Nod. She'll follow Sabine out.
You know, it might not be much of an upside, but I did get you a gift in Karamaga.
Me?
Yeah. Saw something and thought of you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Sabine takes out a little purple pouch. It's got a golden dust in it. This here dust, I didn't really understand what the guy was talking about, but it lets you act like you're a wizard for a bit. You can pick up a wand and fire it, or pick up a scroll and cast it. Thought that'd be fun for you.
You really didn't have to do that.
Of course I didn't. I wanted to.
She puts her hands out to take the little baggie. I'll only use it when it's important to.
Use it when it's important to you. No matter when. You can always get more.
Thanks, Sabine.
Now, let's stop being suspicious and we can keep an eye out.
Happy nod.
As the two of you head out of the cathedral, you also come upon Sheadress, who is also on her way out with Cece, as I recall.
The only person who can take Cece away from Shay is her mother.
And Shay, as you exit the cathedral, you spot your friends. You also spot something that fills your heart with dread, which is Sorshin and Gris standing outside talking. Gris had offered to come along, but, well, she can't exactly step foot inside of a church, so she's been waiting outside for moral support.
Well, first things first, Shay's main priority. How is Cece doing?
Cece seems to be holding up okay. It seems as if somebody has explained to her the situation,
Mm-hmm.
so she's a little bit more aware. But she's gotten a lot of gifts today, and she is, very happy about her gifts and about all the nice things that people have had to say about her dad.
Aw. Well, in that case, then still Cece's going on her shoulders. As always. Do Sabila and Mesmine seem okay? They good?
I would hazard a guess as to say that Mesmine has clearly not slept in quite some time.
Yeah, I was sorry. I had a mouthful of food. Yeah, she looks tired, both physically and mentally.
Okay. And how's Sab holding up?
I mean, she always looks a little tired, but she's on big sis mode for the funeral day. She's projecting normalcy.
Gotcha. Sab's natural habitat.
She's very normal.
Okay. Well, I mean, they seem as good as they're gonna be for the occasion and the day, the time we've all fucking had, which is not good. But if nothing's pressing, I mean, Shay's gonna continue her way outside.
As you continue your way outside, Cece is kicking her feet and looking at some of the stuff, and she's gotten like a lot of little bracelets, and so she's looking at all the little beads on the bracelets. And, she was already told not to put too many of them in her mouth. She's doing okay at that. There have been some rules broken there. There's a little bit of slobber you can't help but notice, but you know what? Is she not entitled? Is she not entitled?
I
And
feel
as
like...
oh,
Sorry.
gone.
I know Shay would have also had a gift for Cece and for Ginny.
What did you make then?
I know she made Ismark a bracelet. And it was like a piece of like really carved and stained, like pretty carved and stained wood, right? That's engraved on one side with like, a metal outline. I forgot the name of it.
Silhouette.
Yes, thank you. And chain. So I feel like she might have also used the rest of that block of wood to make matching like a necklace for both Cece and Ginny.
Aww.
Or maybe like, yeah, something like that, like a pendant of some sort. Definitely a pendant for Cece because she's going to grow.
Yes. She's
Soon.
going to grow very tall.
Yes.
She's already fairly large for her age.
Yep. So yeah. So add that onto the beaded bracelets that she's got.
Cece is currently sniffing at the pendant because it smells like very fresh wood, and she likes it very much. And as she is doing this, and as you spot that horrible, horrible sight, Cece shouts, "Horns! Horns!" And she waves her little hand out. And she's not pointing at you.
She's not?
No. She's pointing at Gris.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Well. Shay did not think this through. And I feel like she's been spotted.
Yes, she most certainly has. They've been looking at you this whole time they've been talking.
What the fuck are they talking about?
What indeed? You don't speak Thessalonian, do you?
No. No,
Yeah.
she doesn't.
Well, maybe you should consider that.
What the fuck? Oh my god. Sola, you need to see Shay. Well, she's gonna grit her teeth. She's like, well, it's too fucking late to turn back now. She came here to do her duty to make sure that Gris isn't dying on the sidewalk. It's the least she can do. And if Gris is mean to Cece, shit's gonna get rough. But you know what? Fucking, she can't deny Cece. She's gonna grit her teeth, just like, alright, just start walking over. It's like, okay, kiddo, we're just gonna go and say hi, and that's it, yeah?
Just hi? Can't I? But her horns are so pretty.
You can ask. Don't know she's gonna say, though, so be prepared for a hi.
As you try to instill healthy expectations in this child, Gris, you see her raise a brow, but there's a sort of softening to her features as you come on over, and
Yeah.
she smirks at you.
Gonna fucking narrow her eyes. What the fuck are you smirking about? What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Shy, I did not know that you were embarking upon a new career as a babysitter.
She's gonna narrow her eyes, probably shift Cece a little bit. Make sure she's nice and snug on Shay's shoulders, not falling down. It's not now. Like, at all.
You try to shift Cece, and as you start talking, Cece immediately starts waving her hand, the new bracelets she's gotten clattering on her wrist. Hi! My name's Cece. Gris pauses for a second, looks at Cece, soft smile. Hello. It is nice to meet you, Cece. What's your name? I don't think I've seen you here. I know all the ladies with horns. Gris.
Sound like a cow.
Cece nods. Yeah, there's only two. You're new. Gris is still smiling. You might say that, yes. I am, well, Shayadress's wife. It is nice to meet you.
Can you not?
There's a laugh from Sortion as she taps Gris on the shoulder with a, I'll leave you to this, and starts heading away.
I feel like Shay was like, I don't like them talking. I feel like this is worse. It's like, no, come back. She's just, okay. Well, fucking... She's not gonna say, stop telling people you're my wife, because that's factual. And also, she's not gonna say that in front of Cece and confuse her. She's gonna turn to just Chris, just like, okay, yeah, anyway. What are the two you talking about?
Oh, just reminiscing.
Just what?
Reminiscing.
And that's it.
Well, we were talking about business matters, but do you really want to know about all of that?
Looks like she's gonna say yes. And then she stops herself and she realizes, nope, Cece's here.
And as you pause, Cece seizes the break in the conversation as if she was getting an attack of opportunity on it. Hey, can I touch your horns?
Child.
There's a pause. As Gris actually smiles. How about I will make you a deal? If I can teach you a new word, and you remember it, then you can touch my horns. Cece looks at you, Shay. Big
Shay-
eyes.
Big eyes, I guess staring down from on top of Shay's head. She's like, okay, fuck, not the puppy dog eyes. But she looks at Gris, and her eyes kind of harden for a bit. It's like, and that's all the details on a deal. Yeah?
With a child, yes, Sheodris.
How much does Shay trust Gris at this point? It's not that much. Because this is a literal contract devil. You know what? Shay's gonna just... Fuck, Cece's fucking puppy dog eyes, though. On a scale of 1 to 10, at what power capacity is Cece doing?
You know that photo of your little brother?
Oh no, you can't do that to me! Fuck! With the hands!
With the hands.
The danger of playing games with your friends. They know the secret weapons you use.
Oh no, that's the same age range too. Fuck, okay. Feel like there's a stare down that happens, and I feel like Cece just like slowly leans forward into Shay's line of sight.
The
upside down.
Just like touches against your forehead. It's a little slobbery.
Yeah, and she just lets out a sigh. She's like, fucking fine. But I want it in writing.
Gris looks at you and just laughs. A deal with a child. Okay, if you insist. And she snaps her finger, and there's a very simple, like, 1-paragraph contract that springs into existence in her hand, which she hands to you.
She's going to read that shit thoroughly. I'm assuming no funny business. It's a simple deal. It's written in crayon.
You know what? She is feeling kind of petty about this, so yes, it is written in crayon.
Okay. Fine. Shay will allow it.
Gris,
Passes her inspection.
now, do you hand her Cece, or do you just keep hold of Cece?
I mean, that depends on what Cece wants to do.
Cece's making grabby hands.
Grabby hands. It's Gris's reaction to grabby hands.
Gris is aiming for a lean forward, make eye contact with child, speak to child situation. She hasn't necessarily reached out to, like, hold her, because you get the feeling that she's trying not to overstep. She's trying for friendly relative, not, like, someone very close, you know?
Okay, middle ground. Shay is going to transfer Cece from on top of her shoulders to just holding her on her hip.
Oh, Cece reaches forward and attempts to grab Gris's horns before the deal is sealed. But Gris
Oh, wait a second.
jukes backward,
Yes. Shay will hold her back. Hold on. There's rules here.
holds up a hand. Do not worry, this will be fun. You will learn a new thing that you can tell people. And she taps her horns and then holds up her fingers. Did you know that my horns are made from the same thing as my nails and your nails, as a matter of fact? And Cece's eyes go wide. Does that mean that my nails are like little horns? And Gris smiles. Not quite, but it is very similar. And the word for this is keratin. And Cece nods very, very intently. Keratin. And Gris looks up to you, Shay, as if asking for assistance on this one.
Yeah, I mean, teaching Cece a new word. She would kind of bounce Cece up, probably onto the other hip. It's like, gotta pronounce the so it's care, like you care about someone, and it's and then a tin, like a little piece of metal.
Keratin. And then Gris leans over and pats her on the head. Very good. Now you may touch them. She leans over and she lets Cece touch her horns. And Cece is having the time of her goddamn life.
Well, learned a new word out of this, so that's good. And I feel like she's surprised that Gris is allowing this. I don't think she's ever seen Gris interact with a child before.
Probably not.
Yeah. I feel like at this point it's like, okay, guard is down a little bit, not fully. It was like, okay, deal's done. I read the paragraph. This is fine. Everything is fine.
After...
Oh,
go on.
done? Like, how?
Yeah, it takes a little bit, but Cece asks her a ton of questions about hair maintenance, which Gris indulges. Horn maintenance, that is to say. She indulges them and gives pretty good answers, actually. You're realizing that she has a very intense routine for this that you may not have realized the depths of before. But eventually, when Cece pulls away, she fixes you with another smile, Shay. So, I will see you at the cabin.
Probably?
Unless you would like me to wait outside here for you? A little longer? I thought perhaps you were feeling a little better with your friends. Perhaps you did not have needed me.
She kind of shrugs. Probably starts bouncing Cece a little bit more on the hip. Probably chances to glance back at the cathedral and the service and everything. Maybe she turns back to Gris. Down. Now. I may probably be fine, but it's part of being attached legally.
Yes, it is part of being attached. She waves to Cece. Then I will be out here waiting for you.
She looks at Cece. Cece, I'm assuming seems like she's had a good time.
Yeah, she's chilling. She's
chilling.
gone back to cataloging her stuff now, though.
Okay. That's good. Okay. Positive encounter. Probably return Cece back on top of her head. On top of her shoulders. And she looks at Gris and Soshin just gone or
Why? Did you want to speak with her?
not really.
She will be around town. There is a matter that she is overseeing. Lending assistance to a friend of hers.
She gets friends here?
Nod. A friend you have in common, actually.
Who the fuck?
There's just a look. Shy. You are not dumb. I believe you can figure this out.
She thinks for a second. There's only a handful of people she would consider a friend. Only one of them. Oh, right. Ow. Sola.
Nod.
Something I should be worried about?
Not with Sortion here, no.
Could I get any more detail on it, or no? Just she's here.
Not while you are holding an impressionable child, Shy.
Opens her mouth, closes her mouth. That's a good point. That's a good point.
You got me there.
Yeah, you got me there. It's like, okay, fair enough. Cece probably does not need to know about whatever the fuck Sola and Sortion are up to.
She absolutely does not.
Yeah. It's like, can you tell me later?
Yes, I will, if you would like to know.
Well, yeah, that's why I asked.
There's a smirk. All right. I will tell you later. At the cabin?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go back to the cabin.
For dinner.
Maybe? Don't know how long I'm gonna be here, so...
What is the saying? We shall play it by ear.
Sure. Yeah. Jay's just gonna probably shuffle in place a little bit. Probably looks back at the cathedral of like, man,
Gris catches you
I wanna
looking at
go.
the cathedral.
Yeah, she's like, I don't...
And she's like, right, you can go back to the cathedral. I'm sure your friends need you.
Okay. Gonna turn, start walking, take a step back, like, wait, that's probably rude. Turns back to Gris. Fucking taps Cece. Say bye.
As you started to turn to walk away, Gris was smiling and giggling a little, but she was concealing it behind her hand. And that's what you see when you have Cece say goodbye. And Cece sort of extends herself upward and waves very frantically. Bye-bye! It was nice to meet you, Keratin lady! Chris does laugh at that, but waves back, and she will turn, allowing you to head back into the cathedral.
Ah. Oh, fuck. Definitely gets a fucking giggle from Shay. She's like, yeah, that's what you should call her. That's exactly what you're supposed to call her. Good job, Cece. Don't call her anything else.
Cece accepts this positive reinforcement without any idea of the plot she's just averted.
Yep. It's like, okay, well, that's done. Checked in, Gris is still alive. Don't know what the fuck she and Sorsen were talking about. Positive interaction with Cece, so that's good. Cece learned a new word. That's also good. Back to the cathedral we go. Back to avoiding any stranger that comes in a 10-foot radius.
Oh, you're pretty good at that.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the funeral goes off without very much in the way of extremely notable events. That, it's time to turn attention to the important matter coming up. Shay has received word that there have been some murders in Magnamar, and Augie's already gone ahead to try and figure out what's going on over there. Shayla's, who was gone missing, was also headed vaguely in that direction. And, well, there was something else that mentioned Magnamar and some of the papers that you found. Both this hard-to-find pleasure boat called the Serpent's Coils and a mention of the Foxglove family townhouse were both in the papers you found in Foxglove Manor. So, does anybody want to make any preparations before we head on over to Magnamar?
Yeah, fuck, I forgot about that.
I think you already bought holy water. I think that's pretty much all she needs.
You could buy more holy water.
I could buy more holy water.
All right, let's go down the line. Charlie, did you make any preparations before going to Magnamar?
Miss God, we are crying.
Yes, understood. Mesmine, are you making any preparations before heading over to Magnamar?
I mean, she'll bring her cart, so we have easier transportation.
That's a good
And we
idea.
can bring more stuff if we need it. I know she wanted to ask Gabriel about his family a bit, but that can be kind of hand-waved at another point. Just not other than make sure things with Doss and the shield wardens are cleared. Like, hey, I'm heading this way, kind of thing. Not fleeing town, I promise. But yeah, no, that's about it. We're go shopping in Magnamar.
All right. Shay, are you making any preparations before heading over?
Other than just updating her calendar and just making sure the cabin is clean and spotless and everything's put where she wants it. Nope.
The cabin is indeed clean and spotless.
Oh,
and
wait,
everything.
There's one thing she'd want to do.
Oh. What
Not
is
really
it?
important at all.
Oh. What is it?
She would ask Shalelu for a favor of, please, pretty please, can you water my garden while I am gone? My vegetables are going to be ready in approximately 3 to 4 weeks, and it is imperative that things do not go wrong during this crucial time.
As you ask Shalelu about this, you tell her that you're going to Magnamar, and there's a pause. Do you want to use Mako's house? Might save you some money.
Can you repeat that?
Do you want to use Mako's house? It might save you some money.
Mako's house?
She didn't tell you?
No.
Oh. Her family owns a large property in Magnamar.
Shit. Well, probably, yeah.
You would
Yep.
be forced to do some groundswork.
Head tilt. Work? Question mark? What kind?
I don't know. She occasionally does ask me to do it. Largely dusting, rearranging of furniture, trimming of hedges. You
Imagine
get the idea.
Shay's tail is buzzing. There's zero hesitation. She nods. Like, yeah. Yeah, I do it.
It's a nod from Shalalu. All right. I will let her know. She'll drop off the keys before you leave.
That's fucking free therapy for Shay while she's there. It's fucking free serotonin right there.
Sab, do you have any preparations you're making?
I gotta send a letter to Nualia telling her she has the place to herself for a while. The other thing would be to pack up some books, both the ones they were using to research the contract and now the closest thing she can get to whatever might help her research what Mez is dealing with.
Sure. You can take some books along with you. I'll say you can take a +2 to knowledge checks worth amount of books.
Alright, thank you.
All right, Z. I've bought you time to think.
There is 2 potions that I'd like Sola to make, but I would respectfully ask for donations and affording them. Because I think it would be nice for Sola, considering all the bullshit that has happened recently, to have, through the course of the weeks, spent the time to, so that the group has 2 potions of remove curse.
Those are very good potions to have.
But they are $7.50 a piece to make.
That is very expensive.
Yep.
Shay will donate.
Alright, so Sola does have enough to do that, so it would be everyone else chipping in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I can make them straight up, but I figure if like everybody pays like 50 in, that also won't leave Sola close to broke. Anybody that is willing to throw 50 into the pot.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
How much was the price?
$7.50 a piece.
And to double check, that's to make them, not to buy them, right?
I think so.
It's half price to make them. So let me see
Price.
here. Yeah. Potions by level.
I was having trouble even finding that the potion existed, so...
All right, so let's see. What level spells remove curse? Is that second or third?
3.
3? Yeah, so that's $7.50 to buy. So you would need half that to make.
Okay, so it'd be $7.50 to make 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she can go ahead and make 1 straight up. Well, hold on. I'm doing math here. Amy, if you're chipping in, how much are you going to chip in? Because I now need $7.50 instead of $1,500.
Take 100 then. Wait, how much do you need? You said.
It's
750
just
total.
however much you want to donate. It is a donation, and it is not a like.
This is a
have
tip
to.
jar situation.
Oh, you said it's for remove curse?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty important. Yeah, here, have 200.
All right, Mez, are you donating?
You can take 140 from
All
me.
right. 140 from Mez. Augie is not present. Shay has already donated. Sab, are you donating?
Give
Oh, shit.
160 to balance it out into a round number.
250 out of Sola.
Quick as fuck with the numbers, Matt.
All right, that's taken care of.
All right. So,
Thank you for the donation. You have 2 potentially useful, potentially important potions now.
those will be very important. Did you know there's a lot of blindness, deafness in the later portions of this adventure path?
So I need to start tucking those away now. Understood.
There was actually somebody posting on one of the Pathfinder subreddits, either today or yesterday, about not a TPK, but a very unworkable situation in which 5 of the 6 party members had gone blind, and the only person who had not gone blind did not have any spells that could help them, and they were horribly isolated.
Yep, we're gonna start making that every time we have an extended downtime, there's at least one that's made to go into the bucket.
Having potions is very helpful. But let's turn our attention to Augustiana, who has gone on ahead in front of everybody else to try and get settled in Magnamar. Do some sleuthing and definitely not some shopping, right? Absolutely not shopping.
Absolutely shopping.
Mm-hmm,
She may have waited for other people to do like major shopping, but like frivolous shopping would be happening.
Of course, of course. So, Augustiana, you're very familiar with Magnamar. You spent quite a lot of time here. And so, by the end of the day trip that it takes to get there, when you start seeing the massive, broken down bridge of the Irespan crossing over the Yodabakari River, it almost feels, well, not like home, but there's a touch of nostalgia to it, and you wonder how many people have been in that same place, looking at that same bridge, feeling the same thing that you're feeling now. Magnamar is about as far from Sandpoint as you can get, despite being only a day or so away, with lots of sprawling districts, 9 of them, as a matter of fact, all with varying degrees of wealth and class disparity. But more than that, Magnamar is known as the City of Monuments. Pretty much everywhere you go, there's a statue dedicated. The City of Monuments is the alternate name for Magnamar. Very good timing there. Let me go ahead and put a thing here. This is a panoramic view of Magnamar. So it's a sprawling city, decorated with a statue just about every block. Some of them are dedicated to the founders of the city who found this place. After leaving from Cheliax, the city of Magnamar was founded by Chalish revolutionaries who did not very much take a lot of pleasure in what was going on over there. And so they decided to set up a city with far less, fascism is the easy way to put it. Magnamar is hustling and bustling and well known as a trade hub. Because one of the main things that they wanted when they were leaving Cheliax was free trade. To that extent, the Lord Mayor is kind of more of a mercantile prince, and is very well known as a deal maker in the area of Varesia. There are very few things that you can make happen throughout the entire country without having at least some involvement from him. And that sort of attitude trickles into the streets of Magnamar itself as well. Pretty much everyone is looking to do some sort of business, whether that be your usual mercantile kind, or favors, or even just trying to get some clout. So, Augie, you've spent quite a bit of time here in the past. What would you say would be your approach in Magnamar as you're trying to set things up? You were told to keep an eye out for Shaylas. Are you?
Yes, obviously. And I imagine because she has spent time there, she would have acquaintances that she would check in on, flatter a little bit, try to get information out of them.
Could you make me a diplomacy check? This is a gather information roll if you have anything that boosts that.
Let's see. I rolled a 2.
Oh, Pathfinder First Edition. Never change. That's Pathfinder 2e is very good, so I guess Pathfinder 1e can change if it wants. So, with a 16, it's going to take you the better part of a few days to get your footholds in, to get any information. With that, I will let you get 2 questions in that you can get some pretty definitive answers to. What would your 2 questions be?
Okay, a question that is not one of the 2 questions. Was there any context given other than keep an eye out for Shaylas?
I feel like yes. I feel like at the very least Shay would have been like, hey, this is what's happened. If you see her, if you see something, say something.
Jesus
I
Christ!
can't. I'm so sorry. I need a
You see
moment.
something, say something!
But no, Shay would have been very like matter of fact of like this, and this happened. Very concerned. Please keep an eye out for her and let us know if you see her.
Yes, so Cody, do you need a recap on what the situation is with Shayla's?
Yes, clearly.
Alright, so Shayla's is the daughter of the general store owner, Ven Vinder. Her name is Shayla's Vinder. Her sister, Katrine, was the one who was brutally murdered along with Ismark.
Yes.
Shay went to go talk to Shayla's and was like, hey, you know, you can hang out at the church because clearly your family doesn't care about you. And Shayla's responded to that by leaving. And so that's what you know. You know that she was headed vaguely in the direction of Magnamar, and that's about the fuck it.
Okay,
But
so not a lot.
You don't know a lot, but however, you are familiar with Shayla's as a person, because you would have known her pretty well growing up in the same town. So, you would probably know some things that she might like to check out if she were in a good state of mind, but she's not in a great state of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie, what would be some things that Augie might know Shayla's is interested in?
Perfume making. Light makeup, lipsticks in particular. Courses. Is that good?
I mean, Augie's got to have some connects in the makeup, perfume industry here at Magnamar, right? So, I definitely think going to them and asking if they've seen anyone that matches Shaylis's description would be one. Other question. Maybe more generally, like, has there been any like unusual asks in town?
Like unusual requests?
Yes.
Okay. So, for the first one, Charlie, has Shaylis been Shaylis in Magnamar?
How long has it been?
It's been about a week since the murders.
On and off.
On and off. Alright. Augie, you have heard from some of your perfume connects that there was somebody fitting the description in town recently. Though they do specify that this woman, despite being a regular client, didn't seem to be in a great state of mind. Where would you say Shaylis has been hanging out, Charlie? At work?
I'm sorry, can you run that back?
Yes. Where has Shaylis been hanging out? Where would she have been spotted, do you think?
The Pink Pony Club.
At the Pink Pony Club.
Oh my god.
So,
I know that place.
you do know that place. What's very funny is that Cody independently asked for the Pink Pony Club to be part of their backstory, and then Charlie was like, "Can the Pink Pony Club be part of my backstory?" And I was like, "Oh my god."
That's beautiful.
I guess it has to be canon now. So, you've heard of Shaylis being spotted somewhere around the Pink Pony Club. As for the other question, well, there's been a lot of strange things in town. Everybody's kind of on edge. There's been a series of extremely brutal murders, which do sound very familiar to you. The people involved are usually eviscerated, and there's a strange star carved into their bodies. There have been about a dozen murders already, and the city guard has not been doing a wonderful job at taking care of the matter. So, some of the unusual asks you hear about are shopkeeps instituting, shorter hours or increased security throughout town. You also hear that there have been, on the finer side of life, that there have been some requests made of some of the higher-ranking taverns in town. It seems as if there's going to be a soiree of some sort. Invitation only. Very hush-hush. But seems to be coming up shortly.
Okay, she's got to get an invitation to that. Shaylis can wait.
You're welcome to try. That will be a separate diplomacy check. And you will have to tell me how you are trying to get an invitation.
I mean, she's going to find the sleaziest person with an invitation. And let her tea ceremony do the rest.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a diplomacy check.
Okay.
$24. So, you find somebody who has got an invitation to this little party. It seems to be coming up within a couple days, and it happens to be at the Serpent's Coils, which is very convenient for you. Now, the man that you are managed to get this invitation from is actually one you're familiar with, which does make things easier, but also makes them a little sleazier. His name's Titus Scarnetti. He's the current scion of the Scarnetti family, who are prominently known in Sandpoint as the lumber mill owners, the people who own the lumber mill where Katrine and Ismark's body were found. He left to go to Magnamar a little bit earlier than the rest of the party did, before the murders happened even. He wasn't in town at the time. But you're able to track him down in a seedy club and do a little talking, and he gives you an invitation and says he would like to see you there.
She will show up.
Well, it's not for a few days, so the party will have to meet up before then. But yes, you do have an invitation now.
Success.
Now, when you visit the Pink Pony Club, which, as a matter of fact, I forgot that I set up a map for this, and I should have swapped us all over to it. So give me 1 second. Did that move everybody? I don't think it did. God damn it. There we go. Are you all on the Magnamar map?
Yes.
No.
It's huge. Oh my god.
It's gigantic.
I love big
Oh,
fantasy
my boy.
cities so much.
Can we also get a copy of this in the Discord?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of the Magnamar map? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Not right now. We don't have to do it right now, but
It'll only take a second.
This is Pathfinder's Waterdeep.
Yes, it certainly is.
Let's go.
It's uploading now. And then you will have the map of Magnamar for your perusal.
Jedi has a good question. Is that Staten Island? Should we avoid that at all costs?
It does kind of look like Staten Island sometimes. Like, the vibe, that is not inaccurate vibe-wise. But I will go ahead and focus ping us here for where the Pink Pony Club is located. It's not annotated on the map. And I will attempt to drag Augie over here as well. Oh god, she's huge.
Oh shit.
P505.
Do you mind if I write on the map?
Yeah, go for it. I have to adjust the grid size. Just live with it for now. You're actually where our new person is here on this map. So, Augie, as you stop by the Pink Pony Club in order to try and track down Shayla Finder, who you've heard has been somewhere around here, perhaps visited, which is somewhat surprising to you because, well, the Pink Pony Club is a pretty lively place. And Shayla's is pretty reserved, wouldn't you say, Chuck? Or at least presents that way.
Okay, well, I mean...
Does Augie know that Shayla likes to party?
No, absolutely not.
So, you enter the smoky, very well-lit halls of the Pink Pony Club that are lit by dancing lights that flit about here and there. It's a humble little club. It's not very big. Part of the reason for that is because the real estate prices here are just insane. Because if you look over at the map, right over there at number 34, that is the Trio Bar, which is the premier theater, not just in Magnamar, but in all of Arisia. That place is packed all the time. And so all the streets along this avenue here, the Lord Mayor's March, do very brisk business. the Pink Pony Club kind of capitalizes on that at times and offers itself as a haven for those who are looking for stuff that's a bit more offbeat than what you would find in the Trio Bar. And strangely enough, it appears mostly empty today, Augie. There aren't a terrible amount of people nearby. You see the barkeep behind the counter, polishing glasses, and as you enter, she kind of gives you a look like, oh no, and gestures toward the back of the house, where she winces as you hear a shout from the back. It's a familiar voice, the owner of the Pink Pony Club, a woman who calls herself Shepherd.
She will go to investigate.
You go to investigate, and you hear, "Hey, what was I telling you about going to talk to her? It's not right. You're not in the right state of mind." And there's a response. Charlie, what's the response?
It's one spell, Shep. It's not hurting anybody.
What do you mean it's...
I can't live like this.
I could understand if it was just a small adjustment, maybe, but the whole thing?
Shep, she was my best friend.
And she wouldn't want you to forget, would she?
I have no one left.
There's a pause as Shep. There's genuine hurt on Shep's face as you say that. There's a wince. You got nobody, huh? Is that it?
Yeah, everyone in that town has left me.
That's what this place is supposed to be for. We're a home for people who end up, for whatever reason, not fitting in. She wouldn't want you to do this to yourself. And Augie, you start seeing, emerging from the back, an older woman and a man dressed in pink. Give me a second while I get that NPC image, but Charlie, why don't you describe Shrapnel?
Oh. Old.
Was that bold with a B
hold,
or
hold?
old? Oh, hold.
Hold
Okay,
H.
gotcha.
I think rather than his usual all pink outfit, it's more subdued today. Maybe the pale pink shirt, but everything else, he's not put any effort into his looks lately. But you do see that he is wearing a white mask. Still keeping the pink hat. He's not washed up in what looks to be like a week. Long red hair that you're familiar with. And dull green eyes now. And you see that when he spots you at the corner of his eyes widen. And he'll tilt his head and grab it, trying to hide his face a little bit more.
That's hair. Do I know you?
I'm sorry, I think you're mistaken. Shep, I'll get going.
The fuck you won't get going. You gotta stay here. And Shep moves to try and walk in front of you, Shrap. And as she does, she spots Augustiana, and she's also surprised to see you, Augie. Her eyes widen. Oh, Augie? It's good to see you, but you picked a tense time.
Tense? What? Who's tense? I'll give a back rub.
She pinches her nose. I'm not sure if that's gonna solve matters. She looks between Augie and Shrap. The boy here, he's got some dangerous ideas in his head.
I do enjoy danger. I imagine she's also like trying to look under the hat to see his face better.
I think if you inspect it carefully, you might find that there's just like a hint of magic there. Whoever this person is definitely trying to hide themselves from you through whatever means possible.
From her in particular?
Mm-hmm.
She will keep this in mind and turn her attention back to the proprietor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all?
Is that all? Well, you tell me. We've got an awful spate of murders about town, and this guy wants to run face first at them. And Shep looks over to you, Shrap, and puts a hand on your shoulder, or tries to. Do you accept?
I think in this moment, Shrap shrugs it off.
There's a small wince, but a nod of understanding and a sigh. Look, I'm just trying to look out for you. With everything that's going on, we've already lost some people. We can't lose you, too. It's not a good idea to go looking into this, not now.
If not now, when?
Maybe when there's less of a danger of getting filleted?
What are you doing out and about here? With all this danger about? Surely you're not looking to get yourself killed?
No, not today. I'm waiting for my friends.
You'll see a deep frown.
Like very, very shrewdly, like should they looking at him, she'll say, they're coming from Sandpoint. Are you familiar?
Miss God, if I may.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Shrap wears a very distinct cologne that Augie might recognize.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Would she recognize it in this moment?
Let's see. I will accept a... I will accept perception or profession courtesan?
Well. They're equal, but I never get to roll the profession, so I'm going to choose that one.
I figured you might enjoy the opportunity.
26.
26. Oh yeah, you identify it very, very easily. This is a very distinct blend, using some ingredients that you know Shayla's to be fond of, and that have to be imported in a lot of cases.
And when Shrap answers with, "I never heard of the place," you clock her immediately.
You are such a bad liar! She will throw her arms up and go in for a hug.
Shrap just stands there, arms at the side. And a look to Shepard like, what in the hell?
Shep will raise a brow, and there's a soft, knowing smile as she reaches over to the counter of the bar and starts pouring about a finger's worth of whiskey. There you go, you see? Somebody came looking for you.
As she takes it like a small step back, she crosses her arms and looks them up and down. What's all this then?
I don't know. Home away from home.
Shep continues pouring and pours herself also some whiskey as she hands Shrap some, and looks Augie up and down, does not pour Augie whiskey, starts making a girly pop drink instead for her.
Bless you. You remember.
Of course I do. It's, part of our business here. The other part is what Shrap here is involved with. He's fashioned himself into a bit of a defender of the streets. I've been looking out for him.
Perhaps we should use the buddy system. There is a murderer afoot.
Shrap will down all of the whiskey and just start laughing to himself. I had 2 buddies, and they're both dead, so I doubt anyone of the Sandys will want to see you dead either. I don't think it's a good idea for them to be coming here anyway.
Well, they're already on their way.
As Shep watches this exchange, she puts her head on her hand as she takes a sip from her drink. Well, if they're already on their way, how about... Well, can you hold off on your plan for a little bit, Shrap? Just until they get here? I could look into things. In the meantime. But I think it'd be good for you to talk to somebody from back home, at least for a bit.
Drop a look to Augie, and then to Chef, and another frown. Shep, do you know the day that my sister died, everyone left?
Shep looks to Augie. Everybody. Is that true?
Well, left is not quite how I'd put it. We were following up on a lead.
So all of you had to go.
Well, given the scene, we thought it was best not to split up. She's starting to look very guilty.
Shrap will reach over the counter and pour himself another glass. And once he downs that, he'll walk to that back room that they came out of and open a door and motion for Augie to take a look inside.
She will approach cautiously, but look inside.
And you'll see maybe 3 pin boards, pictures, crudely drawn string, everything that they had to go off of right there. Exactly that, yes.
It's the Pepe Sylvia room.
Your leads led you to some manor, God knows where, when everything was happening here.
Clearly, you're a better detective than we are. I think everyone's other detective met a similar fate as your sister.
I spent the last few days so angry at you guys. So angry. And I just... There's a way for me to forget about this all. And I'm being told that's not the way to go. Oh.
Oh, gone.
He'll bite his lip and cross his arms, trying to harden himself. You're not actually here to look for me, are you? Why are you here, truly?
Okay, wait. Above table was the only reason we were here to find Shayless?
It was one of the reasons. You've
What was the other reason?
also been told to investigate these murders because they may have some link, and there was mention of, again, the Serpent's Coils and also the Foxglove Townhouse in the Misgivings. So a few things were pointing here.
Okay. We're still chasing that lead.
I'm sorry, It really is good to see you. I'm glad you guys made it out there.
The others will be so happy that I found you.
I don't think I want that to happen.
Don't want what to happen?
For them to know that I'm here.
So you just want me to lie to them?
As this is going on, Shep has followed you in and lets out a sigh, also crossing her arms. Shrap, you keep talking about people abandoning you and your friends stopping by, and now you don't want to be found?
Chip, I didn't know what to do with myself for a week straight, and the first thing I know I want. You're actively telling me it's a bad idea. No offense, Augie, I just... Shayadris, the others, I don't think I can stand to see them right now. If I'm like this now, I know I'm gonna blow up at her.
Perhaps we can come to an arrangement where I don't have to tell them, and you could still help us.
What have you got?
Well, clearly your powers of perception are much stronger than ours, so why don't we work together clandestinely?
And after that, we're both out of each other's hair.
If that's still what you want.
I looked to the Shep.
Shep has a conflicted look on her face, as if she's not exactly happy with what she's hearing, but she recognizes it as progress, and so takes a breath, and it's a step forward, ain't it? I think it'd be good to work with somebody on this. Make some progress on it, you know? Instead of leaving everything behind you.
Shrap will just stare at the ground for a bit. Yeah, okay. They can't know who I am. But I'll help you. And we'll make Katrine's murder right. We'll make Ismark's murder right.
Yes, wonderful. We can meet here every night and share what we've learned, and in our downtime we can go to the perfumery. I don't know if that's what they're called above table, but
We'll allow it.
thank you.
He lets out a laugh and... Alright. Champagne Rose, right?
You remember.
I think that's probably a good spot to call it for today. If everybody's all right with that. We can do shopping and stuff later. Next session, because it's like 11 o'clock.